Hello, this is a SwissInfo podcast. SwissInfo is the multilingual and international public media company of Switzerland. If you're listening to this, it means you're a subscriber to our podcast, The Swiss Connection. After a long break, we're back, but it's going to sound a little different. We're happy to now be able to share with you selected audio content from SwissInfo in English. First up is a 6-part series on science from Davos in the Swiss Alps. You might have visited or even heard of the Swiss town of Davos, famous for mountain slopes, winter sports, and the annual meeting of the World Economic Forum, commonly known as WEF. But did you know that it also attracts scientists and doctors from all over the world? Davos does world-leading research in areas ranging from allergies and bone fractures to meteorology, avalanches, and even artificial intelligence. Last December, our science journalists Sara Ibrahim and Michele Andina visited Davos to learn all about the science there. In part 1, we go to the AO Courses, an annual event for bone fracture experts from all around the world. Here's Sara and Michele meeting their host Jeff Richards, Executive Director of Research and Development at the AO Foundation.
Hello, Jeff. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Sara.
And
Really nice to meet you.
For bringing us around.
Yeah, you're welcome. We'll have a fun day.
Great.
Our first stop, the AO Courses, a training congress for everything connected to bone surgery.
Here.
The AO Foundation has a long history. It began in 1958 with Swiss surgeons who created an association to study osteosynthesis, a surgical procedure for treating bone fractures.
In the 50s and before, if you broke your main bone, your long bone here, your femur, you would end up going into a bed for months and months under traction, so pulling the bones apart, pulling the tissues apart, which actually was the worst thing with our hindsight and our knowledge now, because it doesn't help the healing. And at that time, 60% of the people who had this femur fracture never went to work again. So think of the insurance costs. One surgeon started it, Maurice Muller, and he started looking around what was going on in the world and went to visit places like Belgium and saw a surgeon who made a small implant with screws holding it in to fix the plate on his patients. And he thought, this is great stuff. You're actually not doing traction, you're doing reduction and pushing the bones together and the tissues together.
The opposite, actually, of what they used to do.
In December, the foundation hosts its annual courses with 1,500 attendees from all over the world. Over 2 weeks, they exchange knowledge and learn about the latest technological innovations. From digital training tools to 3D printed fracture models for rehearsing operations and sensors to supervise a patient's healing progress. One of the most impressive features, though, is a classroom placed inside the event's main hall.
What's that?
So this is the shard. This is a live operation on a cadaver with surgeons, and they're doing real x-rays and so on. They're showing it to this crowd around here. Plus, it's going online around the world, everywhere now, and it's been recorded so we can use to teach people.
We're going to tilt the C-arm.
Yes, you heard it right. Inside that glass room, a live operation is being performed on a dead body. The body is completely covered under a sheet, though. Only a small part of the body on which the expert operates while explaining every step is uncovered. Who are the experts giving workshops to other professionals? We asked the president of the AO Foundation, Florian Gebhard.
The surgeons who run and teach the courses here are all volunteers. We do this alongside our job. We have a main job in the hospital where we take care of patients, but because we are so enthusiastic, we volunteer as teachers.
Since the AO Davos Courses began in 1960, the AO has trained over 1 million surgeons and nurses. One of the teachers here is Unni Narayanan. a pediatric orthopedic surgeon at the Hospital for Sick Children at the University of Toronto.
We are the pediatric group that has 4 days learning all about how to fix or treat pediatric fractures. And this particular session is a workshop on how to treat a very common fracture in children, which is a fracture at the elbow called a supracondylar fracture that involves the lower end of the arm bone or the humerus.
So you want to put one perpendicular to the shaft and one parallel.
This workshop looks more like an arts and crafts class. The participants are grouped around large tables and are equipped with drills and screws to work on artificial bones with artificial fractures.
The faculty members that I've joined are exceptional.
This is Dr. Edobor Osula, a pediatric orthopedic surgeon at Rutgers, New Jersey Medical School.
They are leaders in the field, and they have an ability to connect the students. And there's always going to be controversy depending on where you are from regionally. So it's nice that we all come from different regions, but we all seem to come together to be able to say and come to a consensus about how we're going to be managing these patients.
Participant Munira Abba Hussein from Saudi Arabia is taking part in the AO courses for the first time.
So how is your experience here? What's special about being here for you?
To be honest, it's really great hands-on. We have a great faculty. When you compare other people that comes from different countries, and they have different approaches, and it's a good space to just brainstorm some ideas and new approaches.
There's more on bones in part 2 of our Science in Davos series, where Sara and Michele go to the AO Institute to find out about the latest innovations. Some of these are being developed to replace animal testing in the future. This episode was recorded and edited by our science and video journalist Michele Andina. For more content, visit our website, swissinfo.ch. I'm Jo Fahy. Thanks for listening.
Do you want to polish your knowledge about Swiss elections, referendums and political parties, while at the same time learning more about the quirks of the political system in Switzerland? If that's the case, our newsletter course is just what you need. Each week for a month, we'll send you a free installment explaining the most important details of how Swiss democracy works. Our course teaches you who's eligible to vote in Switzerland, what the different parties stand for, how election and popular vote results are implemented, and what distinguishes Swiss democracy from other political systems. Our crash course is interactive, like democracy itself. Your questions will be answered on an FAQ page, and you can debate with other users and share your inputs and opinions. We will also provide links to multimedia articles and videos to help you better understand the Swiss democratic system. Please join us and sign up for the free Democracy Crash Course newsletter at www.swissinfo.ch/democracy. That's www.swissinfo.ch/democracy.